maybe want to look a bit at the way in which this very curious architecture has been set up in the Lisbon Treaty and what the thinking is behind that. And from those who have been involved in the convention and so on, there might be insights that I'm not aware of. I think in general, member states, when they have revised the treaty time and again, had one key aim when it came to foreign policy, which was to keep it out of the hands of the European Commission. And all kinds of institutional constructions have been made with almost that ultimate purpose in mind. Let's not give it to the Commission, whatever we do. And that's how the Solana position was created initially, which I think took really on a life of its own, was, I think, on the whole rather successful. Caused, I would say, some havoc within the Council Secretariat, which was not used to be an executive institution, but much more of a preparatory body for legislation. And in that sense, the Lisbon Treaty solution of taking that away again from the Council Secretariat, but of course not giving it to the Commission, which would have been an obvious logical step, but politically unacceptable, but to isolate all this foreign policy machinery out into what I think in the future will become a separate institution. The European External Action Service is, I think, a good logical step. I would really like to propose that this European External Action Service will become, over time, a separate institution in its own right. And it's, in a sense, remarkable how far the Lisbon Treaty has already gone to set up a proper institutional structure which has a political figurehead at the top, which has a fairly predictable structure in terms of how it will be organized internally, and which will, incidentally, will also have under it all the so-called union delegations, the EU embassies around the world, which is something that currently is run by the European Commission. And I think that's something which will significantly change the nature of things. These union delegations around the world will be upgraded in that they will take over from the national presidency in terms of coordinating the work of national embassies in third countries. Of course, how this External Action Service will work, given that it has a Commission component, a Council Secretariat component, and seconded national officials from foreign ministries, that will take time to work out. It will be rather strange to have this body for a long time, perhaps operating with people under different staff regulations and so on, under perhaps uncertain budgetary frameworks and so on. But I think there is definitely a momentum there for something, a significant new institution coming into creation. The EU has never been good at crisis response. It has always been much stronger at the long-term strategic issues in international regime formation and so on. And I think in that sense what the Lisbon Treaty does is simply to strengthen the existing trend. The Union will become even stronger with a stronger institutional framework in Brussels to look into the long term and to develop international structures multilaterally and so on. But will be even weaker, I think, when it comes to responding to crises. And I think Haiti is just the first example of that, where it's been very difficult for the Union to come up with an effective response.